Zhao Tian, with extraordinary strength, arrived at the location of the Tianji Pavilion branch and presented conditions for forgiving the other party. Firstly, Zhou Tianji must write a self-criticism letter. He must kneel at the gate of the Great Flame Empire and read it aloud for 3 days, and notify the headquarters of the Tianji Pavilion. They need to send representatives for a formal apology. Secondly, the culprits who plotted against my 2 elder brothers must be handed over, and they will be publicly executed at the Noon Gate in the Great Flame City to proclaim to the world. Thirdly, the Tianji Pavilion headquarters must cede some territories and compensate the Great Flame Empire. Lastly, compensation is required for the mental distress of my father-in-law and my wife. The total amounts to 17.3 billion mid-grade spirit stones. Let's round it up to 18 billion mid-grade spirit stones. Additionally, a contract for labor reform needs to be signed. The members of the Tianji Pavilion must contribute to the basic development of the Great Flame Empire. The duration is not long, just about 100 years. Xiao Tian, upon reaching this point, suddenly wondered if he was being too lenient. The members of the Tianji Pavilion, on the other hand, were dumbfounded. Zhou Tianji was also stunned, thinking, who would agree to this series of conditions? Even Zero Yan's eyesight is not impaired. Why did she see such a foolish man? Zhou Tianji no longer wants to waste time with such a person, saying with folded arms, I don't have time to play around with you. You have 2 choices, either come with me willingly, or I'll take you by force. Xiao Tian looked at Zhou Tianji in astonishment, surprised that the goodwill he showed was not appreciated. Xiao Tian wore an incredulous expression, and he confirmed once again, saying, This is your last chance. Are you sure you don't want to cherish it? At this moment, the deputy sect master of the Tianji Pavilion branch couldn't hold back any longer, and burst into laughter. Seeing the contempt from the other party, Xiao Tian's internal anger surged. In such a solemn situation, this person unexpectedly lost composure. Xiao Tian's extreme fury suddenly erupted with a power of 3 out of 10,000. A punch burst forth, shattering the space in an instant, and the deputy sect master vanished in that brief moment. However, the power of this punch showed no sign of diminishing. The torn space continually generated waves, rushing towards the distance. Zhou Tianji immediately stifled the smile about to appear on his face. And at this moment, there was only one thought in his mind. Isn't this what Lu Outyin said? Zhou Tianji swore that if he saw Lu Outyin again, he would surely defeat him. Lu Outyin usually boasted about how clever he was, able to manipulate the world. But the result was Xiao Tian shattering space with a single punch. Not only that, but the chaotic aura in the southern wilderness was also calmed by his punch. Zhou Tianji thought, what nonsense did Lu Outyin provide me? Is this the person you described as having no cultivation? Xiao Tian, with a solemn expression, said, I want to remind you that this matter is very serious. Zhou Tianji dared not show a fawning smile and quickly stated that it was a misunderstanding. Just now, I was joking with you. Xiao Tian, satisfied, nodded and added, the conditions you just mentioned must be guaranteed. For the 18 billion compensation, add another 20 billion. Zhou Tianji widened his eyes, somewhat puzzled by this additional demand. Xiao Tian, with a serious look, asked, is it excessive to ask for 20 billion as payment for cleaning up your mess? Hearing this, Zhou Tianji roared in his heart, finding it excessive. On the surface, he could only agree and said politely, the prince's proposal is very reasonable, not excessive at all. Xiao Tian nodded in satisfaction, revealing a smile and saying, since that's the case, what are you waiting for? Bring it over. Zhou Tianji, at this moment, was stunned and asked Xiao Prince. Compensation? 20 billion mid-grade spirit stones before dawn? How can I gather so many? The corners of Zhou Tianji's mouth twitched. So many spirit stones, how could he possibly gather them before dawn?